My music station has gone through quite a bit of changes in the last 13 years. I've had many different setups, both good and bad. And I'm also not sure that I'll ever be completely satisfied. Over time, I've learned that it's important for me to have a workstation that inspires me, and that's something that's always going to be evolving. And although I have upgraded my equipment a ton since I started, some things have stuck around. My station is always a mixed-use creative space for my work, as well as my hobbies. I'm a full-time creative with photo and video work, and music is my main hobby, more specifically, writing and recording my own music. So I choose equipment that can improve my work experience while also producing the quality of work that I want to create. But this video is dedicated to highlighting my simple setup for producing music and songwriting. So let's start with the desk and everything attached to it. I chose the Beckin standing desk a few years ago because I like to switch between sitting and standing, as most people have adopted these days. It's not practical for people making music usually, because it's recommended to have your monitors on stands and in fixed positions. But since I'm not really mixing music at my desk, I'd rather just have a setup that is more suitable for creativity. My chair of choice is an autonomous Myo chair. This model was discontinued a few months ago as they changed their whole lineup of chairs, but I still love it and don't regret the investment. It's super comfy, the arms adjust to be pretty low, has great back support, and even has a sweet footrest for long days of editing, or just to lay back and relax to your favorite tunes. Powering my current setup is a 2019 15-inch MacBook Pro. I have a bit of an upgraded graphics card and decent RAM in this, but of course, I always want more power. I have that placed on a laptop stand made by Jarlink, which tucks right between my monitors. For external memory, I have two separate working hard drives, both Samsung T7 and T5. One for video work and the other for music storage. When I want to take my laptop on the go and work somewhere else, I placed Velcro strips on this laptop cover so my drives could be fastened and attached in place instead of just dangling around. I have my MacBook attached to the CalDigit TS3 as the main dock for connecting everything in my desk. I picked this one because it had many different USB connections, a DisplayPort for my external monitor, an SD card reader, and it powers my MacBook while connected. My screen monitor of choice is the BenQ PD3200U, a 4K 32-inch monitor. This one has great color rendering and was exactly what I needed for my photo and video projects without breaking the bank. It also has optional USB inputs on the back. Behind the monitor, I have a Govee RGB IC light strip that I can change through the app based on whatever vibe I want to create in my room. The sectional LED strips are so much better than traditional strips because you can do more effects and even create some cool gradients. My main audio interface is the Duet from Apogee, which used to be called the Duet 2 when I bought it many years ago. It's discontinued, but still performs great. And I like how the input-output cables are separate from the unit. It makes my cable management a little bit easier. I also have a few controller things on my desk. The Loupedeck CT for controlling my DAW, and a small Akai MIDI keyboard. The Loupedeck is pretty handy for using in Logic, but I mainly use it for my video software. The small MIDI keyboard is perfect for my writing situations when I just need something simple and arm's reach to jot down ideas, and that's always plugged in. But when I need to play something on a more full scale, I set up my Alesis VI61 off to the side on a generic keyboard stand. It doesn't quite fit on my desk with my current setup, and I like my bigger keyboards to be closer to how a piano would feel on a piano bench, so off to the side is perfect for me. The keyboard and mouse setup I use is just the basic Magic Set from Apple. I love the feeling of this keyboard, and I haven't really found anything new that I like more. The multi-touch surface utility is just ingrained in my muscle memory at this point. Underneath all this is a cheap felt pad I got from Amazon sometime last year, but I might need to replace this soon. My monitors that I use are PreSonus Aris 8s. I got these about 2 years ago, and these are also discontinued, but they work great so far. Since my workstation is always changing, I make sure to run SonarWorks to get a profile created for my setup to hear things a little bit more clearly. Ironically, while I'm working my desk, I think about 90% of the time I actually prefer to work on headphones rather than through monitors. It's a habit I've adapted in the past year that just helps me zone in and be focused on what I'm doing. So I have two pairs of headphones, the Sony WH-1000 XM4s, that's exhausting, and the Beyerdynamic 990 Pro's open back version. I'm usually wearing the Sonys because of the noise cancellation, and the 990s were purchased a few years back when I thought I'd try to learn to mix with headphones, which I gave up on. I use them sometimes, mainly if my Sonys die or if I'm recording and the Bluetooth delay is just way too much. I also got this cool LED lamp to add more vibes to the space, which has a bunch of sweet presets, and a couple plants to chill on top of the monitors. Attached to the side of my desk is the Warm Audio WA-MBA boom arm with the Warm Audio 47 Junior condenser microphone. I only got this arm like 2 months ago, and I never realized how much I needed a boom arm microphone set up at my desk. You can just turn it towards you when you have an idea or you're ready to record something. It's so convenient, and the cable management is also super nice. I've owned this particular microphone for a few years now, and it's what I've used on all the vocals for everything I've released. On the other side of my desk, I have a small shelf thingy I got from Target, which I attached some casters underneath to be able to move around when I want to easily dial in tones on my Kemper. I invested in the Kemper a few years ago, and I couldn't imagine living without it now. It stays permanently routed into the second channel of my interface because I'm always using it to track guitars. Behind my Kemper, I have this cool Palm that I got a few months ago from IKEA, and it hangs out with my homies while I work. Attached to the Kemper, I have a foot controller so you can navigate through profiles, effects, and the tuner if I need to make changes while I'm already playing. It's also a must-have for playing live gigs, which is why I bought it in the first place. My main guitars are a Fender Jazzmaster and some older Takamine acoustic, which is a long ago discontinued model. I got this acoustic back in, I think, 2008, and it's just one of those acoustics that sounded so good you wonder how this was ever discontinued and priced so low. The rest of my space is sort of a work in progress at the moment. I have a habit of moving once a year or two, so getting settled into each new space takes some time for me. This is the first time I've ever had my own room, whereas in the past I've always just worked from a corner of my living room for the most part. I built my own acoustic panels for echo treatment, which was a pretty fun project. I also built these DIY cloud lamps. These are basically just paper lanterns covered in bed filling, with those same RGB IC strips inside them to create those sectional effects. At the moment, I'm kind of hating this big acoustic panel behind my desk. I thought it'd be cool to have a bigger one there with a pop of color, but I hate it. But this is my latest iteration of my creative workstation. So leave a comment below and let me know something about your workstation that you really love, that you feel is unique to you. I hope you found some things in this video that you'd like to add to your space.